welcome to this pre-market analysis of Nifty, where on a chart we try to make informed guesses of where buyers and sellers are. This is Nifty on a daily time frame, and these are the lines and fair value gaps that we drew yesterday. So you can see 2 days ago support was taken at this level and this level that we had drawn on those days, and then it is retracing back and retracing back to the top of this fair value gap. This swing low in this fair value gap wasn't respected. If you look at it on an hourly time frame, it was respected. You see this candle, it's a reversal candle, but then buyback happened, and then the top of the fair value gap has been respected. So we will have to wait till tomorrow to see if there's a swing, if this becomes a swing low, then on a daily time frame the downtrend continues. If this is taken, then we have a situation where we are a bit skeptical on the biases that we say here. Now, as usual, let's go and delete all the analysis from the previous day and start afresh. We do that every day here. Starting with the monthly time frame. On a monthly time frame, the bias is not sure. Why am I not sure? Because this was the level the buyers were protecting with tooth and nail, and that has been taken, and now there's a lower level to be protected. If this makes a high that's lower than the previous high and then again falls, it becomes bearish. Now if it creates a low that's higher than one of these lows, higher than this particular low that's being created, then it becomes bullish. So either way, it's going to take a month or two for the bias to be created. There's one level that's important to be marked, that is this previous swing low that was created in April, I believe. Yes, April. Let me mark it with a thicker line. Going over to the weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, it's interesting. This is a fair value gap, and the bias is bearish. Why is it bearish? Because this swing high is lower than this swing high, and lower high is bearish. Now on a weekly time frame, if it is the weekly game that's being played out, there's a weekly bearish fair value gap, which I haven't been marking all these days, and there's a swing high in this fair value gap, swing low in this fair value gap. So I could even mark this swing low with a thinner line and mark it in red. I haven't been marking this weekly level. It's nearing the end of the week, and that's the reason I'm marking it. On a daily time frame becomes interesting. It is bearish because this is the swing high that had to be protected. That is still protected. So if, as we said, on a weekly time frame it goes all the way up, then the daily bearish bias is invalidated, and then it's not a good place to trade for directional trades. Now we have an interesting formation here. This is a bearish fair value gap, and then from here we have a bullish fair value gap. So essentially we had let me mark this in green. The filling color gets to green. So we have a bullish fair value gap that invalidated a bearish fair value gap. Well, a close about this would have been great, but this itself is not too bad. So that means it just implies the intent of the buyers are strong at this level. Going over to the next time frame, but let me just quickly mark the important levels here. One important level is this one. This fair value, this is an order block that had been respected already once, so perhaps I would not mark that, but I would like to mark this one. This is an order block. This particular order block, let me mark it in green and with a thinner line. So this is a good support for Nifty if Nifty ever decides to come all the way down. Now, this in a similar fashion, this is an order block for a bearish move, so that could work as a resistance. Let me mark it in red. And then there's this whole cluster of candles. That's again it's a great order block. So we just mark the center of this. It would be a little difficult for me to mark, but yeah, we could. Well, that's almost been covered with this line, so I would not like to mark it separately. So we have supports, we have resistances on the daily time frame. Bias is still bearish. Going over to the 4-hour time frame. On a 4-hour time frame, this was a swing high. That swing high was invalidated, and therefore, is there a higher low formed? No. So therefore, on a 4-hour time frame, I'm not sure of what the bias is. Coming to the hourly time frame. On an hourly time frame, it is bullish. Why is it? Oh no, it interestingly, it is not bullish. This is a swing low. This is a higher low, but that higher low was invalidated and there is no lower high formed. So here too, it is not sure. That's an interesting place for Nifty to be. On 2 time frames, we are not sure. And on 2 higher time frames, we are bearish, and monthly is not sure. Well, let's see what Nifty holds for us today. And once again, I'm not a certified analyst. I do this only for educational purpose. Thank you.